It's double game week 26 and my triple captain is active. I have triple Arsenal, so I am ready for this game week, but there are a few problems with my squad I need to fix with free transfers. And in today's video we're going to take a look at how exactly I could line up for the double game week and what moves I could potentially make. So let's get into this. Welcome back to the FPL Mogs YouTube channel and welcome to today's team selection video for double game week 26. If you're brand new around here, make sure you click the subscribe button and don't forget to like the video as well. It'll take you 2 seconds to do. It's one of the best ways to support my channel, and let's aim for 20 likes on today's video. We're of course starting off strong for game week 26 with my triple captain active on none other than Gabriel. We spoke about it for weeks and weeks about the possibility of this being my chip strategy, and of course we have stuck to it. Gabriel, Brentford away, Wolves away. I think that's a brilliant triple captain option. In the grand scheme of doubles and blanks this season, I feel as though this is the chance that I'm going to take on Gabriel this week. You could theoretically just wait on Erling Haaland to have a double game week, which he probably will going into the next few weeks of FPL. But for me, Gabriel, with my current chip strategy, when I'm going to wildcard, when I'm going to free hit and bench boost, this is what I want to stick with. And of course that means Timber would end up as my vice captain. Obviously Gabriel more attacking than Timber from corners. He does love a header, doesn't he? Defensive contributions, I think he's just a better option than Timber, and I think we all do know that. But in case something happens and he doesn't play, Timber at least has the double game week as well as part of that Arsenal defence. And that is where the triple up is for Arsenal this week. Raya, Timber and Gabriel. We've had this set up since game week 8. Of course, we had the Saliba variant for a long time with Gabriel's injury, but we're stuck on this. I think it's brilliant. I would maybe like Declan Rice instead of a Raya or a Timber, but I feel as though this is perhaps the second, or if not the strongest triple up you can have on Arsenal right now. We then come in to a bit of an issue with the side, and you'll notice it straight away. Virgil's fixtures, it's okay. Sunderland away from home. I mean, we're still unbeaten at home. Maybe this can continue, this really good run of undefeated, but Liverpool do look a little bit better. So we'll see how that match ends up. I'm not overly happy about playing him in it, but still, of course, the clean sheet potential for Liverpool is always going to be high. The problem then comes when we look to the bench. Anderson and Rodon as cover. Now, you'll see when we get to the midfield why this is a big problem, but these fixtures aren't great. They really aren't. So, with 2 free transfers, do I improve one of these players and then swap a midfielder? Let's take a look at it. So as we discussed, the bench cover is not great, and it gets kind of even worse when you know that SZOBOSZLAI, of course, is going to be missing this match and will be back for the next one, but also a bit of a disaster because Tavernier is still not back for Bournemouth. So we have a situation where we basically have to use a transfer this week, at least one anyway, to kind of fix this midfield situation. It could easily be the case that Anderson or Rodon come on instead of SZOBOSZLAI, but if we really want to be sort of benefiting this week and in sort of long and medium term with transfers, I feel as though selling SZOBOSZLAI this week will be the move I choose to go with. We'll speak about replacements in just a second, but let's cover the rest of the midfielders who are fit and of course ready to go. Enzo Fernandez leads at home. A bit frustrating, of course, to see Palmer get 2 penalties when he came into the Chelsea side, but still, I just don't know what to feel about Palmer. It seems like any game he could just be on the bench and miss out and have a rest, and I don't think that's ideal for an FPL asset. So Enzo, of course, will stay, and it's a great fixture for him this week. It just would be a little bit nicer if Palmer wasn't involved, so he could have took them penalties, but you can't have them all. Bruno Fernandes, still, in my opinion, the best FPL player in the game. I mean, it probably goes to Gabriel this week in particular, of course, with having the double, but for long-term fixtures and just how good he is at getting points, Bruno Fernandes is, of course, my favourite player to own right now. West Ham away from home. West Ham have looked a little bit better recently, so not super pleased about that, but it's still a great fixture for Manchester United. And of course, if they get the win in this fixture, that lad can finally cut his hair. So that's what we're all looking at, really, isn't it? But at the end of the day, it's a great fixture for him. So I'm so happy to have him in the side, of course, back from injury. Anderson, Wolves at home, another really great fixture. It seems that the team is quite full of good fixtures, apart from one player, which we'll get to in a second. Really happy to own him. Really, really happy. Cheap, DEFCON, lovely. Just consistent basis of points. I think that's what I really like about him, because he's so cheap as well. So yeah, Elliot Anderson's brilliant for me this week. Now, when we get to SZOBOSLAI replacements now, there's only one player on my mind currently, and that's Ismail Assar of Crystal Palace. Burnley at home, I do believe, this week. Yes, it is Burnley at home. And then after that, he's got Wolves at home in 27, Manchester United away, Spurs away, Leeds at home, Newcastle at home, West Ham at home. Those fixtures seem really great for the potential penalty taker now of Crystal Palace. Of course, 6.3 million, quite cheap. I think it's a really good sort of move to go away from SZOBOSLAI and into Ismail Assar this week. I think that's a very likely move I do this week. Perhaps if we get news that Tavernier is out longer than SZOBOSLAI, perhaps SZOBOSLAI would drop to a bench, and then I could sort of fashion a move with Tavernier and perhaps another transfer in the back line maybe. But overall, I think that's the initial plans for my SZOBOSLAI replacement this week. Ismail Assar coming in, and of course SZOBOSLAI leaving my side. The forward line actually looks pretty strong for my team this week. Evan Nielsen with Everton away from home is a pretty good fixture. Then you've got Haaland with Fulham at home, and of course we know what happened in that reverse fixture. A bit of a repeat of that, but Haaland scoring all the goals will be absolutely excellent. And then we've got Thiago, Arsenal at home. Not ideal, mate, is it? You're kind of ruining the vibe here. Everyone's got brilliant fixtures this week, apart from him. Maybe there's a situation where I bench him if I do 2 transfers. Potentially, SZOBOSLAI to Ismail Assar, and then maybe Rodon upgraded up to someone. Perhaps I look at getting like a James Hill or a Senesi into the side. It depends on funds, really. But overall, this is how I am set up currently for game week 26 in FPL. Triple captain on Gabriel just feels like a no-brainer. We've planned it for weeks and weeks and weeks on this channel since we had sort of the idea that a double could fall in game week 26. So overall, super pleased. The move of Ismail Assar, SZOBOSLAI leaving the side, is a very likely transfer I do consider this week, but there are other routes, as we mentioned, with possibly selling Tavernier instead. It seems that Tavernier could be back for game week 27. We know SZOBOSLAI's back as well, so it's kind of, which one would I rather have? I mean, the funds themselves, Tavernier is a cheap player, 5.3 million. You've also got SZOBOSLAI. Where is he? I've sold him on this little draft thing here, but I do believe, because his price didn't go up the other day, he should still be, 6.7 million, 5.9% owned. Happy to sell him this week if needs be. Of course, selling SZOBOSLAI allows me a little bit more money and a bit more freedom with my transfer. There are some more exciting moves where, you could maybe sell David Raya, get SZOBOSLAI out, let's go for a Trossard, a Zubimendi, there are other more exciting things, but I think the most reliable and safe bet this week is getting rid of SZOBOSLAI, buying Ismail Assar. Really happy with how the team looks for FPL game week 26, and of course remember, the deadline is tomorrow. The FPL deadline is tomorrow at 6 PM, so do not miss out on it, and do not miss out on my deadline stream starting at 4 PM, where I'll be answering your FPL questions and showing my final team selection before the deadline hits. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure you click the like button, and don't forget to subscribe if you're not already for future FPL content and FPL streams. But that is everything for today's video. Thank you again so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye for now.